There it goes. There it goes. Hey, all right. It's still showing the wonky. Good Saturday morning, people. I am Lori, and this is my. I'm still waking up the channels. Yesterday, I started up live streaming on 4 channels that I hadn't touched in 2 years, and today I'm only coming on my Facebook main page as well as Reimagine That, and that's a rebrand. Probably the working title, not going to be probably the final title, but let me tell you a little bit about what I've got planned as I'm experimenting around. I figure it's going to be about 2 weeks before we get things totally down, but Reimagine that is kind of a good place to start. I like to recycle and repurpose things that I didn't fully use to their full potential. There's more life in them, let's put it that way. And Reimagine That was kind of a side hustle that I did about 20 years ago. I still do it, I just don't do it as a side hustle. And that is upcycling. You know, now they've got a word for it, upcycling. Back then, I don't even think that was a term. You know, but of course, people have been doing it since well before, my grandma taught me how to do it. So a lot of things that are from my grandma are coming in with this granny cord. What I want to do is recycle some things that I've done before, including images. One of the things that I did with some of these images is that I did it for Twitter back over 10 years ago with Twitter, where they had the tweet chats and they had the Storify, and we had what I called it was author interviews, but it was like tweet chats, but it was we had like a book club online on Twitter, and I would put the images on there with questions and have the people on the live tweet chat who've been reading the book or wanted to read the book or wanting to ask the author questions. And the author could come on, and we had some really interesting authors that would come on and do this, right? And because they could invite their people too. And this is why I'm doing these lives, is because it has that same interactivity. The potential for this is to have guests on, but even before we get there is to have you guys come on. If you make comments on, not on Facebook right now because it's of the settings, but on YouTube, those comments, I can bring them into the studio and either handpick them or have them come on as a feed, which is wonderful for community interaction, especially around topics that affect a community. So when we put a spotlight on something like, the thing that's coming up to mind is I think we're close to having a citywide garage sale in Lewiston, Minnesota. So I'm very specific to southern Minnesota, but then we also branch out from there. And everything that is community and civically related is kind of what the channel is going to be about. But also books, because I love books. And so in that vein, what I was going to do is kind of show you, show not tell, kind of give you a kind of a flavor of what we did before. So without further ado, our topic for today is from Sherman Alexie. And so this is kind of the branding that I'm going with for the 2 weeks trial period here. Life is a constant struggle between an individual and being a member of a community. And isn't that the truth, right? I think we all deal with that. So that's the thumbnail that I chose for this particular 10 minutes segment. But what we would do is have people give their own, encourage you to make your comments in the in the comments, and then I could bring up the ones that would add to the conversation. And then, the other thing is, if I have like an author or a guest or a co-host on, then they can stream. They've got the ability to stream to their channels as well. And that's kind of what happened with the old school Twitter. So that's what was really exciting to me with this, is to have the ability of not only having things that I own, but being able to equally share with the guest who is coming on. So they didn't have to go to my channel to see and share my stuff. They could have their own version of it, which that's kind of, I love that. I love that idea. So now we're going to go to, here we go. Remove this one. And this is kind of like the, how I'd be like rolling through it. And then you guys could chime in and I could share your wisdom. If you let people know, if you let people into your life a little bit, they can be pretty damn amazing, right? So this is like one of the things that I would do is like in preparation for like a Twitter view is what we call it, an author Twitter view with like Sherman Alexie, that I would be peppering this ahead of time. And then during the Twitter view, I'd have questions written out so people could, that would prompt other people, people to ask more detailed questions about what they were interested about a similar topic and that's how the Twitter view went. So if you let people into your life a little bit, they can be pretty damn amazing. Ain't that the truth? And this helps us let people into our lives, right? And if you're good at it and you love it, and it helps you navigate the river of the world, then it can't be wrong. What are your thoughts on that one? And even if you're not commenting on live, even if you find me later, I'd love to have you comment down below. So that would be amazing. And then here we go to the final one that I chose today. You can tell I actually had one of these scheduled with him. I grabbed my book and I opened it up. I wanted to smell it. Heck, I wanted to kiss it. Yes, kiss it. That's right. I'm a book kisser. Maybe that's kind of perverted, or maybe it's just romantic and highly intelligent. And so I was scheduling this, and then he went dark because there was this was like a long time ago, but there was some allegations that had to be investigated about his and so this is one of the things that I'd love to hear about this is a deeper dive, this is a deeper conversation. When you're reading a book or taking a piece of art, how much of it is the book itself, the product of it, the piece of art itself, and how much of it is a reflection on the author, and how many authors do we know that can stand up to that kind of scrutiny? That's a whole discussion, and I don't want to preach on any of these subjects. I want to have a discussion about them because I always learn from you guys as much as I think I know from anything that I've ever done. Now, at the beginning, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to come back over here to this one because that's what we started out on. Maybe I can. Yep. Life is a constant struggle between being an individual and a member of a community. So it's a constant struggle, and that kind of goes back to it, right? We are an individual, but we're also a member of a community. How much is it that we owe to each other, and how much can we stand alone? And I don't think we can stand very much well alone. This is what we've got. Here's I've got a bunch of these. Constitution of the United States. They are great for bookmarks. It's the pocket size, and that's what we've got the capacity with this to also do giveaways. So if you make live comments, then I have a giveaway tool that it will pull up randomly. And what I would do is say I have a hashtag. So you'd have to opt in by putting the hashtag in the comment that we chose, and then it would come up. And if you won, then right now you'd get a copy of the U.S. Constitution, because I think it's been a minute since a lot of us I've read it and understood it and did whatever. And it's just one of those things about being a member of a community, right? And my 10 minutes is up. So I'm going to sign off, but I'll be back with you soon and you'll see some other things that this platform can do for us. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.